So today I want to give you my first impressions of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Plus. And this is a Samsung tablet that I think a lot of people should pay attention to. Everyone looks at the Ultra because it's super flashy, because it's the most expensive Samsung tablet. But realistically, there's just not a lot of differences between the S10 Ultra and the S10 Plus. And I really think a lot of people should consider buying the S10 Plus, and I'm going to tell you why in my first impressions. So with all that being said, let's get into it and let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Plus. Now I know a lot of you out there, if you have older Galaxy tablets, you're not going to see a lot of differences between them and between this Tab S10 Plus. If you have a Tab S9 Plus or even a Tab S8 Plus, you're not going to see massive improvements over your previous tablets. The Tab S8 Plus was great, the Tab S9 Plus was great too, but we are still going to see some pretty good improvements that I do think warrant some people upgrading to the Tab S10 Plus. And also, I think a lot of people out there that are paying attention to the Ultra models, I think a lot of you should pay attention to the Plus models, because in my comments every single year, I see a lot of people saying that the Tab S9 Ultra is too big, or the Tab S8 Ultra is too big. A lot of people buy those bigger tablets and they quickly realize that they wish they would have gone with something a little bit smaller. So some of them try the Tab S9 and they say it's too small, and some of them try the Ultra and say it's too big. But very often I find a lot of people end up going with the Tab S9 Plus or with the Tab S10 Plus in the end because they really do like the size. And I think a lot of you should consider, what size of a tablet am I wanting to get? The tablet that's going to be a lot bulkier, it's going to be harder to bring around, but it's going to have a bigger screen for content. Keyboard's going to be a little bit bigger. Or do I want something that's still pretty big, but it's going to be a little more portable and it's going to be a little bit cheaper? That's the big decision a lot of you are facing whenever you're looking at these tablets. And looking at the Tab S10 Plus, if you compare it here with the Tab S10 Ultra, you're going to find, yes, it does look a little bit smaller, but practically speaking, this Tab S10 Plus has almost all of the same features as the Ultra. It's really only missing one front-facing camera because the Ultra does have two. It's missing about 300 nits or so of brightness, so it does come with around 650 nits, but outside of those things and a little bit of a larger screen, and you will notice the bezels are a little bit different because there is a little bit of a notch on the Tab S10 Ultra, you're really not going to notice any big differences. You're going to notice that the Tab S10 Plus is a little bit lighter. It also has a little bit less screen size. So I really do think whenever we're looking at the design here, you really have to think about those things, especially the screen size, and especially what you want your tablet to look like and feel like on a day-to-day basis. Now you are going to see two speakers on each side of the Tab S10 Plus, so you're going to get a very great speaker experience. The speakers are incredible here, and they are very, very loud. They also sound good overall in quality. Terrific speakers on this model. And you are going to see as well on the top of the device an SD card slot. This is a massive value for people out there. I've been saying it for a while. If you're going to compare any iPad to a Samsung Galaxy tablet, you need to compare the iPad that's 13 inches to the Galaxy tablet here that's 12.4. They're the most comparable as far as sizes here, but the big difference you're going to find between this and the iPad is that you actually get an SD card slot here, and you actually get a stylus that comes in the box. So don't forget that when you see this tablet retailing at $1,000. I know that's a lot of money for a tablet. It does come with 256 gigs of storage. It comes with 12 gigs of RAM. So I know that's still a lot. And if you're someone who wants a good value, there's plenty of tablets on Android around $600 or so. And the Tab S9 series is still terrific. But if you want a very premium tablet, especially if you're an Android user anyway, and you're looking between this and the iPad, just don't forget about the value you get with upgrading your storage with an SD card. That could save you $300 or $400 or even $500 or $600, maybe even $700 or $800, depending on which iPad that you're looking to get and what SD card you're looking to buy. The Tab S10 Plus is not going to be the best value whenever you're comparing it to every budget tablet out there. It's not going to be the best value when you're comparing it to those mid-range tablets that really try to give you a good bang for your buck. But as far as the premium tablets out there, you are still getting a great value. And I think the Tab S10 Plus, one good reason to buy it is because it's cheaper than the Ultra model. And the Ultra model, it does give you more size, but it doesn't give you much else for the money. And a lot of you could still get a really large tablet, but you're still going to get a terrific AMOLED display. If you look at the display here, it's going to be nearly identical, of course, to the Tab S9 Plus display, but the big difference is going to be that anti-reflective coating. Once again, just like with the Tab S10 Ultra, I notice a massive difference in the screen here. If I have the screens on with the Tab S9 Plus and with the Tab S10 Plus, whenever the screens are on, I don't notice any reflections, at least in my environment here in the studio. But whenever I am seeing the Tab S9 Plus, well, yeah, there are reflections on that. Of course, the Tab S10 Plus is going to be a lot less reflective, but whenever we look at the Tab S9 Plus, I will say, you can always get an anti-reflective screen protector, and you will be able to get a lot of those properties anyway on a Tab S9 series. So if you have a Tab S9 series out there, I'm going to leave a link in the description to an anti-reflective screen protector from Samsung. But remember, they are pretty expensive and they only come with one in the box. And if you break it or you scratch it, it's not quite as easy to replace as a tempered glass out there, where you get like a 3-pack on Amazon for 10 bucks. So if you want to try it, feel free. That may help your Tab S9 experience. But if you're someone who doesn't want to use a screen protector, you're going to see a massive difference here with the Tab S10 Plus. And it's going to look really, really great with this anti-reflective screen. Yes, in some environments you will see some reflections, but they're much better whenever you're comparing it with older Galaxy tablets. It's a major improvement over the Tab S9 lineup. Outside of that, you are going to notice a big gain in performance. The MediaTek processor is better than the Tab S9 series processor, so the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, it was nice. And I know some people might be wondering why Samsung is going to MediaTek. Getting the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus, we are seeing some very good performance here, and my benchmarks do show a pretty nice performance jump from the Tab S9 Plus to the Tab S10 Plus. Even with the GPU, we are seeing a pretty nice jump as well. Of course, it's not going to be that noticeable to people in day-to-day usage. So once again, if you are on a Tab S9 device, there's not a ton of changes from the Tab S9 series. The Tab S10 series is great. It's amazing, and I think a lot of enthusiasts out there are going to want to upgrade. They might want to test that AI out because there are some new AI features. They might want to jump on to get a little bit of better performance, and they might love that anti-reflective screen. But those are really the three things that set the Tab S10 Plus apart from the Tab S9 Plus. You're just getting that anti-reflective screen, you're getting a little bit of better performance, and you are getting a little more AI features. And a lot of those are going to trickle down to the older units out there. One other difference I guess I should mention is 7 years of operating system updates this year. That is a massive promise from Samsung, so you will get even more updates on these models when comparing to the Tab S9 series, so that might be another factor for you if you are considering buying a tablet. Now the battery size this year is the same as the Tab S9 Plus. There's not a lot of different features. You're going to get the same resolution. The body of the device is going to be the same, and even the keyboard covers are going to be identical to last year's models. But there's really no difference outside of that AI button, so keep that in mind. If you have an older Galaxy tablet keyboard, at least with the Tab S9 series, those keyboards will work with the Tab S10 series. If you have a Tab S8 or a Tab S7, no, your keyboard covers won't work because the camera holes won't line up on the back. But if you do have a Tab S9 series keyboard with a Tab S9 Plus, well, yes, that will work with your Tab S10 Plus. And this Tab S10 Plus keyboard, the keyboard here on the Tab S10 Plus, it does work with the Tab S9 Plus. So there are some things I have to test out, like battery life. Is battery life really going to be better or worse? How is the efficiency on these models? That's something I'm going to have to test out over time. But overall, it's really what I thought it would be. We are seeing a nice, modest improvement. Now, I am really shocked at how good that anti-reflective coating is. And for me, it's a massive deal. Now I can finally use a Galaxy Tab out and about, and I get a good performance jump. I am super excited, but I am also a Samsung enthusiast. So if I'm giving real practical advice for people out there, I would say yes, if you're a big enthusiast like me, you're really going to enjoy this jump from the Tab S9 series to the Tab S10 series. But if you're not, if you're just looking for a good value, I still think keeping your Tab S9 devices, that is still a fairly good value. If you have a Tab S8 series device, some of those devices are worth keeping and maybe you're going to want to keep them, but I will say I would recommend upgrading soon if you are on a Tab S7 series device or lower. And for the Tab S8 series, it's sort of a toss-up. It really just depends on who you are and what deals you're seeing out there for trade-ins. And even for the Tab S9 series, I get some people are really going to want to upgrade because, again, I'm really impressed by these features. I know some other people might be, but practically speaking, we're not seeing a huge, ginormous difference between this and the Tab S9 series of devices. And of course, the S Pen experience, I will say it's pretty much the same as it was on the Tab S9 Plus, so I'm not seeing a lot of differences with the S Pen or anything, but still a very good experience here from Samsung. I love the S Pen. I love what we're getting here as far as the display. The performance is great, so a lot to like, and I can't wait to give this tablet a full review. So hopefully this video has helped you out. If it has, please give me a like and give me a sub. That would mean a ton to my channel. And another thing you should do is check those links in the description because that is a great way to support my channel. And you could also follow along because I am going to have a lot of Galaxy content. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and feel free to check out my other videos because again, I talk a lot about Galaxy tablets. So hopefully you have a great day and I really, really hope you enjoy your week.